homework. Looking at the report, I want to look at a couple specific questions. First one I want to take a look at is this one. 3 to the negative second times 3 to the negative 8. The common wrong answer was 1 over 9 to the 11th, 9 to the 10th. What's wrong with this answer?
Because, well, you know that multiply the threes, it's the same thing.
Good. Why don't I multiply the 3's?
The same thing. I don't remember exactly because I wasn't here Friday. So
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh, and,
Because they're the same ground base.
They're the base, right? The 3 is the base. Is this number really 3?
no.
No, this is really a 3 squared or 1 over 3 squared, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the correct answer here?
1 over 3.
No,
So
That's what I thought.
3 to the negative 10th, right? Because we do negative 2 plus negative 8 is negative 10. And then we rewrite it using only positive exponents. Yep.
I don't really understand this whole ton. I was like wondering.
When we multiply, so someone explain it, Lee. Yep.
I wasn't.
I have a question.
Okay.
If they weren't the same number for the base, could you multiply them?
So if you had 2 to the 4th times 6 to the 5th, would you multiply them? You tell me, what do you think?
Yes.
Remember, 2 to the 4th is really 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and 6 to the 5th is really, right? So if you were going to evaluate it, then yes, you would have to multiply it all together and do all that arithmetic, right? But since we're just talking about simplifying using exponents, no, you would never multiply these bases together. So the reason here that we can add them is because there's a whole bunch of 3's. This is saying that we have 1 over 3 squared, and we have 8 more 3's down here.
Oh.
So you're just adding together to see how many 3's you have, yep?
Oh, so when you multiply, you add them together.
When you multiply, you add the exponents.
And division, you subtract.
And division, you subtract.
Hey.
Okay. So here we have 1 over 3 to the 10th. Now let's take a look at this next question, which was 5a to the 3rd times 5a to the negative 5th. The common wrong answer was 1 over 5a squared. What's wrong with that?
Oh, it should be 5a. No, shouldn't it just be 5a to the 8th?
You said 25?
1 over.
1 over 25, yep.
No, it's because A is the base and 5 are just regular numbers.
Regular numbers, what do we call those regular numbers? Coefficients?
Wait, isn't it 25 over 5?
So let's clarify this. Here the 3 is the base, so we cannot multiply. Here the 5 is not the base, so what do I have to do with those 5's? And what rule allows me to multiply those together? Not distributive, commutative property. So this is really 5 times 5 times a to the 3rd times a to the negative 5th, right? Okay, so we know we can multiply the 5. So here we're going to get 25. Now what do I do with my powers?
5 over 8 to the
Add. We need to add. So and I'm going to encourage you to actually write down your addition, because a lot of people are making errors with their negative signs. So what is 3 plus negative 5? Negative 2. So I have 25a to the negative 2. And now how do we rewrite this using only positive exponents?
25 over
25 over a squared? Or is it 1 over 25a squared?
25a squared.
All right, go for it.
It's 25 over a squared because in the original thingy, I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
Yeah.
The two 5's are whole numbers, and if it's 1 over 25a squared, they go from smaller. So 25 has to be the whole number, so it's going to be
What what exponent is here with this 25? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So the 25 is in the numerator and your a squared is in the denominator. Next question that was not so great.
Wait, there's like 6.
Oh, what was the average grade?
60%.
Okay.
Class average was a 60%.
Oh, might be
11g squared divided by g to the negative fourth. The common wrong answer here was 11 over g squared. That was the common wrong answer. Let's talk about it. How do we solve this problem?
I got that
Yep.
right. I was so
You got it right?
My
Okay.
dad was like, no, it's not a wiki.
Yes, it is.
Well, let's talk about it. How do we do this kind of a problem? Yep. There's no exponent.
And then you subtract between -4.
Good. And again, I encourage you to write this out. 2 minus -4. What is 2 minus -4?
Positive 6.
Positive 6.
And my dad was doing all this complicated stuff. And I'm like, that's not
And then the last question is the same kind of thing. 5x to the third divided by 10x to the negative third. Where do we start? Yep.
Find the
Mommy,
G
get it
dot.
out. It's 50.
I think the GCF for 5.
Good, so we need to simplify those coefficients. So what is 5/10 simplified?
1/2.
1/2. And now what do we look at next?
3 minus -4.
3 minus -3. Now be careful. What is 3 minus -3?
Positive 6.
Positive 6. So how do I write my answer now using my positive exponents? Yep.
You would do. 50x to the
50? Where are you getting 50?
Oh,
Why are you multiplying?
Wait. Oh,
No,
two
X is 6 over 2.
X to the 6 over 2.
See, I thought it was 1 over
Did
2.
you put 1x to the 6 over 2?
No.
Because we don't use coefficients of 1. Okay, I'll have to look and see what you put.
Yay.
Because that's
Maybe you just put like a space between the fractions.
So the common wrong answer here was 1/2. What was the big mistake that people made in order to get 1/2?
They took out the negative sign on the bottom, and they just done a 3 minus 3.
Yeah, the subtraction was the error. So you want to be really careful when you're
I
doing the
thought it
subtracting.
was the x to the 6 one on the bottom, so I did 1 over 2x to the 6.
Okay, why would the x to the 6 go on the bottom?
I don't know.
Okay. Positive exponent goes up. Any other questions from the homework that I didn't already go over? Yes. Number 16. Okay. So this is that same kind of question. 26 w to the -4th divided by 13 w to the -12. Where do we start?
GCF.
So the GCF, we start with the coefficient. So what is 26/13 simplified?
2.
So 2. And what do we do with their powers now?
You subtract them.
Subtract.
or add
-4 minus -12.
8.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So 2w to the 8th.
Yay.
I thought it put it over 1.
Oh, right. Which we don't need to do that. Any other questions from the homework?
No.